Welcome, collectors and diecast enthusiasts. As you can tell from the title, you have joined us for a review of not one, but two vintage 1/50th scale Caterpillar wheeled excavators. On your left is the Caterpillar 224, and on your right is the Caterpillar M318. Both of these 1/50th scale models were some of the first wheeled excavators that Caterpillar ever produced, with the 224 being the very first one. So let's begin with the 224. As you can tell from the box, this machine appears as though it was produced in the 1970s, which it was. And on the top, you can see Cat 224. And on the back of the box, you can see that back then they really hadn't even adopted the term wheeled excavator. They simply referred to it as wheel type excavator back in the day. The article number or item number for this model was 259. As you can see, it was made in West Germany. Let's go ahead and get this thing out of the box. It is important to note that, of course, as with most all of my NZG models, I did purchase these secondhand. I did not come along during the time that NZG was producing most of its models. So, nevertheless, here we go with the unboxing process. This 224 is going to be in the Cat trade dress, again, from the 1970s with the Block C logo. As we get the packaging materials out of the way, there is your first look at the 224. All right, as we always do, we will begin with the detail and detail, both of which are about as basic as they come on both the real machine and therefore the model. You have a single set of outriggers or stabilizers. It looks like you have an air cleaner over here. You do have what appears to be a two-piece boom, or a cranked boom, as some people may refer to it. There's the Caterpillar logo in a decal, Block C logo 224, and of course the black decal, which goes the length of the full machine. On the other side, you have the angled cab, which, if I'm not mistaken, the reference photos I've seen, I'm not sure the 224 ever actually came with this style cab in the real world, but nevertheless, the model has it with these blue inserts to give the illusion that there's actually glass inside there. You have an exhaust stack here and an air cleaner here. On the back, there's your Caterpillar logo as well. Very nice, very crisp. It has stood the test of time quite well. Your wheels, none of them steer. They all appear to just be able to go in the forward and rear direction, and that allows us to now focus on functionality. Let's get our machine to the work site so that it can perform its function as intended. So the first thing we need to do is drop our outriggers. They go down on both sides. Carefully, we will raise our boom up, and mine will go up to here, and surprisingly, these cylinders are strong enough to hold it up to a height of there. Now, these do appear to be screws, so I am not sure, but I wonder if you undo these screws, if you could position this boom at its other extension here and mimic what the real machine could do. That I'm not sure. If somebody could let me know in the comment section, that would be great. Anyway, moving back to the functionality, you can see that you can get your stick out to about there. Again, very respectable considering the age of this model. If we want to go down, you can go down to about here without forcing anything. Again, very respectable. How about bringing our bucket in? Well, this bucket here is really stiff on this model, but I can bring mine in to here. Let's bring things back up so you can see it a little bit better. Overall, I am quite pleased with the functionality of the Cat 224 by NZG, considering the age of this model and how well it has held up with the test of time. I have no complaints, and quite honestly, it looks phenomenal. The only question that really needs to be answered is whether or not you can move the second part of the boom and position it at the lower hole here, which I assume, because there's a hole there, that that is quite possible. Again, you guys down in the comment section below, let me know. Now, let's turn our attention to the Cat M318. Okay, now on to a much newer machine. This is the Caterpillar M318 wheeled excavator. This model was produced, again, in the early 1990s. Taking it out of the box, as you can see, we have it in some cardboard. Again, pretty par for the course with this era of NZG model. Lift it up. The only other thing that you may find in here, and you hope that you find one of these in here, is the official NZG model tag. Once you have that, you are ready to display your piece. All right, so taking a look at this model, you can see that the CAT logos, the M318, all look very sharp. If we move around to the rear, you can see the counterweight decals really capture that look, the curved look of the era of CAT excavators quite well. This machine, as you can see, we've kind of kept up with the progress of wheeled excavators. We have the outriggers here on this end of the machine, and then, of course, we have the dozer blade on this end of the machine, which for the most part just adds as an additional stabilizer feature when the machine is digging. This one also has the two-piece boom, although I'm not sure this one is positionable at all in terms of moving any screws around, because there's no screws to move around. Now, taking a look underneath it, you can see that this machine was produced in 1995. It might be a little hard to see, but it is right there on the bottom of the casting, along with a single silver screw, which appears to hold the entire machine together. All right, for functionality, it is a wheeled vehicle, so yes, it does wheel itself around. Do any of the wheels turn? They do not appear that they do turn on this machine. So let's get our machine in a position so that it can dig on the job site. Once again, same thing as we did with the 224. Let's drop our outriggers, and then we will drop our dozer blade again for added stability. Let's take our boom out and see what we can do here. We can lift it up to about there. This one, though, appears to have seen some action in its previous life. As you can see, the boom will not support its own weight and appears to deflect down over time. How about for the stick and bucket movement? On mine, we can get it out to about there, which again, pretty respectable. Not going to complain about anything for how old this machine is. If we want to dig down below itself, let's see how far we can go. Again, with potentially not breaking anything or forcing anything, you can get it down to about there. Again, not bad at all. So let's get this thing back up to a travel position. Curl our bucket in and get it up to here. Lift up our outriggers and lift our dozer blade back up. And just for good measure, we will rotate this 360 degrees just to show you that you can rotate it 360 degrees. There you go. So that will conclude my review of not one, but two classic NZG 150th scale wheeled excavators by Caterpillar, the 224, as well as the M318. Now, I do plan to, if I can find one for a decent price, I do plan to track down an NZG Cat M318C. However, at the time of this video's publication, they are relatively hard to come by, and if you find one in good shape, you could expect to pay close to $200, which is far more than I'm willing to pay for an M318C. That said, again, if I can find one for a decent price, I would love to add it to the collection, and if I add one to the collection, you can bet your bottom dollar I will be filming a review of it. As always, thank you all so much for watching the video. If you haven't yet, please hit that subscribe button so you never miss a single upload. Thanks again so much for watching. I'm Tommy with Diecast Emporium. Until next time, take care, be well. I'll see you in the next review.